Hello, everybody. Welcome to part 5 of the golden age of Lego. Been trying to coordinate this for a month now, but stuff kept getting in the way. But we have a co-host today. It's From Blocks to Mocs. Wanted to get From Blocks to Mocs on for the 1988 episode because that's the year when he started collecting Lego. But through all sorts of delays on both ends, we're here for 1990 instead.
Yep. Hey, hope everybody's doing good. Happy New Year to everybody. And so, you ready to get into this, Mayo?
Yeah, so 1990 is a special year because that's when the airport shuttle came out. That's when the M-Tron theme came out in space. And there's some other it was technically the last year of the 12-volt train theme, although I don't believe they actually made any 12-volt trains in 1990.
And so the only 12-volt system that they had, well, I guess not even 12, it's 9-volt, was the monorail.
Yeah, they weren't making, I don't believe they were making new 12-volt stuff in 1990. They were just letting the stuff that they had made from 1986 sit on the shelves until they came out with the 9-volt system 1 year later, which is why I think I have a lot more to say in the next episode, part 6, about 1991. But this is 1990, and we're going to go over the stuff today. So before we do that, do you have any sets from 1990?
I do. I have quite a few. And a lot of my sets I've incorporated into the city. So, they're not going to be just like they were when they were given to Lego. I don't have like the base plate and stuff. I do have it. It's just off on a shelf somewhere, but I have them built into the city, and the whole city's one MOC. So I do have a lot of the sets from that era. I do have, the monorail, the airport shuttle monorail. I have the space shuttle set, the launch pad. I've got quite a few different like medieval sets, castle sets, and some little cars and things like that came out in 1990. So I have quite a few 90 sets in the city.
Yeah, because we were talking beforehand that you have one of the castle rowboats, and we'll get into that. So let's start scrolling. So the first up is something that I really like. It's the 260 idea book.
Yeah, I always liked that thing. I remember seeing that on the shelves when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, like you could actually, or in the back of the magazines. You remember the little catalogs you get? I think I sent you a couple. But
yeah,
you would see it in the back of the catalogs, so that way you could order it also. But if I'm not mistaken, they did have that at Toys R Us.
Yeah, I'd imagine though that would be one of the big stores where they would have shipped those out to. The basic sets. We normally brush past the basic sets unless I see anything interesting in them. Not seeing any cypress trees like previous years, but I guess 535. There's a fruit tree in there.
That's almost like the junior set, or the 4+ sets of the time.
Yeah, well, because these basic sets were 5+ according to this. However, now with the classic sets, they're mainly 4+. I remember in the late 2000s when they didn't really have a theme name for it. I think it was the creative designer theme, whatever tag they gave to them. It was really weird. But I remember them being 4 to 99.
Got you. General Tron, he says he actually has that idea book we were just talking about.
Nice. I'm going to go into the chat and see who's here. So we got Hoarder 66, TMC Dina, you, Brick Together, Tron, Team B, and hopefully we'll get more soon. So happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New Year, Team B.
This was interesting. This was a 7+, and you can see that it's more advanced than the others of the basic building sets. Uh, I do. I think I like these 7+ ones way more because they're more advanced. Like I remember in one of the versions of the Soulbrick City on the Soulbrick channel, he used this house.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
It's got the bendable palm. It's got the bendable palm tree and the two base plates in there.
I was actually, that's exactly what I was going to talk about. I was going to say I love those palm trees. Those are, I feel like those are I don't know, the best palm trees Lego ever made. The way that it has that bendable function, so you can make it actually bend like a palm tree.
Those are definitively the best palm trees they ever made. And this was an improvement for their motors. I think previous motors in the basic theme, they did clockwork with a wind up key. This used some of the pullback technology they were using with the Technic sets at the time.
I'm surprised they don't do that today.
Well, I think with some of the Monster Jam Technic sets, they do. And also, this was when they introduced the brick separator, the original grey one.
I've actually got that one.
Yeah, I bought this way before they started including the orange ones in all of the sets. And Dina, you'll like this clown car. If this wants to load properly. Set 1559. And there's a lot of these small aerial sets. And so tell me to pause if you see any of these that you own, and I'll try to pause. I really like this, the set 1631, the black race car. They did a whole bunch of these Formula 3 style cars back then, and they divided them up into different sets with the printed numbers on the slope brick.
I've got the semi that comes with 4 of those.
The Indy Transport from 1995.
Yep.
Or the one from the 1993 Victory Cup races would have been one of them. I always like this speedboat build.
It is pretty clever with the hinge pieces.
Yeah, because they use the hinge pieces for the outboard motor.
Yep.
That's the way I like to build the speedboats in my city.
Yeah, I've got one that I built like that. I made it a fishing boat though, but yeah, I borrowed that build.
This is a little bit more interesting. That's kind of, I'm not sure what this building's supposed to be, but it looks more interesting because it comes with those warehouse style doors.
I think that was just a book you'd buy that give you ideas with the parts you have.
It's a basic building set.
Oh, it is a set.
Yeah.
I see that.
And apparently it was packaged in a bucket. So I has a bucket. Yeah, so you can see what I was talking about with the racing stuff.
Yeah.
And we saw in the previous episode they were starting to do a lot of the bonus packs. Well, here's another bonus pack.
I think I have that that one that's the horse with the buggy.
Yeah, the Crusaders card. It's right here. It was one of the last Forestman sets. Yeah, because as someone who thinks that whose favorite castle faction is the Forestmen, this was the last year of the Forestmen sub theme of castle. Crusaders card.
Until they recently brought it back with that GWP, right?
Yeah, because 2022 was when they brought the Forestmen back officially, because the collectible minifigure from Series 1 isn't really canon.
Yeah.
And this was your space shuttle launch.
I do have that. Yep.
Set 1682 was the first set to include the NASA logos in it.
Yeah, no, that's why I thought it was pretty cool. Is that it's one of the few that actually say NASA and then USA and everything else all over it. It looks pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, because it's got the lettering for USA and United States and the American flag. And you can see on the cart right there, that's where the NASA logos are.
Yep.
And compare this to the 1995 version, which I like more because it's a more complete set that has the launch command logos on it.
Yep. And then they started giving it like a command station also. That just came with like the little cart.
Yeah, because the 1995 version was a little bit more complete with the mission control and the pad that rolled along the base plate. This was still the era when Lego was doing some wacky collaborations, like with Colgate toothpaste.
Yep. I don't particularly remember this, but I remember they used to always do little Lego stuff. You would get it in McDonald's Happy Meals, and all sorts of things would collaborate.
Yeah, we've been covering a whole bunch of the Happy Meal toys throughout this series. And we'll probably see some later on. Now, this is a little bit intriguing. Recently, some people have started labeling this style of Blacktron set as Blacktron 1.5.
Oh, because it was the in between.
Yeah, because it has it has the first generation Blacktron minifigure, but it has trans red instead of trans yellow, and the white instead of the opaque yellow.
Yeah, like they just like on that GWP they recently did. They did a Blacktron that was of the first generation Blacktron, the black and yellow, and then the Blacktron 2 was when they came out with that translucent neon green.
Yeah, because I grew up with the Blacktron 2 sets, and they've had a renaissance with the Blacktron 1, which made me appreciate the Blacktron 1 theme more than what I already did with sets like the Message Intercept base that we covered in this series. I always liked the name of this for a front end loader. They called it Soil Scooper.
Yeah. So I remember when I probably had something like that when I was a kid. I remember having a little tractor and stuff like that. I don't have anything like that in the city now, but I always thought it was a cool how it actually functioned. You could pull back on the little knobs that they have right there, and it would actually function the bucket up front.
Yeah. And this is a little bit meta, but do you scoop any soil at your job?
Oh yeah, I use machines like this all the time.
Yeah. That's why I like the name of this.
Yep, and then especially if you're doing landscaping, like if you're doing a saw job, you tear a lot of grass out. You get one of these. And then also when you put new dirt back down, you'll do that. When you do gravel, you'll use something like that. All the time using things like that.
And we've got Hive and Mr. Blue.
What's up, Mr. Blue? Hey,
Hive. And Billy and Liam. So let's see what people are saying. Yeah. So Team B says, as a clown car, that should be hold 40 to 50 figs. Yeah. So Billy says monster trucks have the pullbacks, and some others. Billy has one of the wind up red motors.
Nice. Yeah, that's probably why I didn't know about it, just because it comes in those now. But yeah, that's cool.
Tron says, yeah, the white slope with the one, red with 2, blue with 3, and the black with 4, and that's all because of their victory lap raceway set from '88. I can't remember which supports they were. I've been doing the exact same thing ever since New Year's Hive.
That's why my Lego room stays a mess.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, there's another type of card. I think this is the same set, but a different orientation for the picture.
I was about to say the picture looks reversed.
Yeah, it does.
So that thing looks super cool, but it says 1998. What is that? Go the big boat.
This ferry.
I've never seen that before in my life.
Yeah, this was a promotional set. They did a whole bunch of these ferries for the ferries that go on the Baltic Sea, and the Mediterranean Sea, etc.
That's cool.
And they're really expensive now because
I'm sure. It just says 1998. I wonder if that's not the year. That's just the set number, right?
Yeah, that's the set number.
Got you.
And it's expensive as hell because of the stickers.
Oh, does it have? Oh, it does have a value. Even used, it's at $4.55.
Yeah, and all the value is in the stickers.
Oh, I'm sure.
Now, I think I actually remember playing with this Duplo airport at the doctor's office. Set 2450.
When did Duplo come out?
Well, the Duplo theme came out in the early 70s, and then it was rebranded to Preschool, and then it was rebranded back to Duplo, I think, in the 80s sometime.
Got you.
Trying to see if I remember playing with any of these Duplo sets. I remember playing with their airport, as I just said. Don't think I ever touched these zoo sets.
I don't remember much Duplo, to be honest with you.
And there's the service pack with the grey separator. And there's a whole bunch of service packs.
I was about to say parts packs, right?
Yes, some of the Technic wires. I don't see that excavator bucket a lot these days.
So this is what you would usually see in the back of the catalog when you would see all the sets and everything, and then you would go to the back of the catalog and it would have like this parts thing where you could order parts and ship it in with like a check, and then they'd mail you your parts. It'd take you like 6 months, but you could get parts that way.
Yeah, that was when Lego was using their mail order forms before before shop at home online.
Yep.
That's why they stopped doing those mail order forms by the late 90s.
Oh yeah.
Because the internet.
Exactly. It made things 10 times easier. I mean, I get that.
Oh, were they still selling the cypress tree then?
That's actually one of the sets I want. That's a bucket list set for me. That not that, but the next one down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of people really like these model team sets.
Oh, I've got a few of them in the glass case where I keep all my like special sets and stuff. But yeah, no, I really love that semi and helicopter setup. I'm not a big fan of the 6-wheel machine, but I do really like that semi and helicopter setup.
Yeah, this was one of the better model team sets. And this is the set you were talking about, the Battle Dragon.
Yep, I've got that. I've got that in the castle area. I try and incorporate anything that I get. I try and incorporate it into the city. I don't really like to keep much on a shelf.
Yeah, I think they get reissued a year or so later because they get included in a multi-pack. All right, let's continue. And this was, and I don't own this, but I wish I did. It's the Black Monarch's Ghost set 6034. Now
So
I have the Black Monarch's Ghost, but I don't have this actual set.
Yeah, when I remember having this when I was a kid. This was like one of the first sets that came out with that ghost.
Yeah, because I think the first time this ghost came out was in it was the previous year.
Yeah, and then this was one of the small sets that you could get them in because otherwise it came in those big castle sets, and my mom wasn't going to buy that for me.
Yes,
I have that right there. What is that? Go up one more. What do they call that?
The Dungeon Hunters.
Yep, I have that one.
This was another one of the last sets to include the Forestman.
Yeah, no, that one's pretty cool. I've got a troll in the cage, and he's rolling into the town.
Now I have a lot of nostalgia for the Knight Stronghold because of the Lego History book.
Yeah, that's a cool set. I never had that one.
Yeah, it was a cool way to extend the wall of the Black Monarch's castle.
Got you. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, like how the siege tower and the battering ram back in the 80s was a good way to expand the king's castle. And this was the last official Forestman set, the Forestman's River Crossing set 6071. I believe that base plate is exclusive, that female Forestman is exclusive. And yeah, it's kind of like a fortification to cross the river, which is a little bit overkill to just cross a river because it's 4 studs wide.
Yeah, but it's also meant to be represented on a grander scale, like imagination. You'd think it was bigger.
Exactly, because when you objectively look at these, sometimes sometimes they are overkill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was the first. I believe this was the first castle to be on a raised base plate, the King's Mountain Fortress, set 6081.
I always liked those raised base plates that came with a ramp like that, almost like an entryway to the castle and stuff like that. I remember having a couple of them, and then they would have all sorts of cool play features with trap doors that would fall all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, because this is what Castle and Pirates fans have dubbed the ramp and pit base plate, because this was first used in the El Dorado Fortress set, and then was reused in this set a year later, and in 1991 was reused for the Rock Island Refuge and a whole bunch of other sets throughout the 90s.
I was going to say, when did they stop those? Because those ran all the way until they used them in that monorail station. They used them in Aqua Zone. They used them in quite a few years of the 90s.
I need to do research about what was specifically the last set they included the ramp and pit one in, because they switched to some other ones in the 21st century. This was, I think a lot of people sleep on this. You get 1, 2, 3, 4 police vehicles in the same set, and you can tell that these are 4, and you can tell that these are 4 wide because the set has less than 200 pieces.
Plus 3 figs.
Yeah, because you get an operator for you get an operator for the car and trailer, who themselves drive the speedboat. You get an operator for the motorbike, and a chopper cop to fly the helicopter.
Yep. Britton Bricks says, weren't those raised base plates vacuum formed? I would say so, especially with the studs that they put on them. But I would, if I told you 100% yes, I could be wrong. Mayo may know better.
Yeah. Hey, Sean. Yeah, I know that Lego did not produce these in-house. They contracted someone else to make them, much like how they contracted someone else to make the monorail tracks. And also, hello, Alexandria. I like the older motorbikes too, because I think they have a better center of gravity
Oh, they do.
and
They
with the
stand up so much
access
better.
of those motorbikes.
I got a couple of those in the city. They're chasing
Oh,
chasing the guy out of-
so
What's that?
oh no, I'm just saying. So did Odelay tell his people to come over here when his stream ends or something?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I've been watching streams all day. Now I have nostalgia for this 6375, the Trans Air Carrier, because this was the first set I bought at a Lego convention.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you get that nice cargo plane, you get a small little transporter, and a 2 wide forklift instead of the normal 4 wide forklifts.
So I personally like this style of airplane better because I feel like it fits more into any and all Lego cities where those bigger ones can really take up a whole lot of space. Like those big ones that they come up with now
Yeah,
that it's pretty ridiculous with those big wing plates and everything.
yeah, exactly. Because I grew up with the 2006 airport and the 2006 passenger plane. A 5-year-old me could barely hold those planes flying up and down the hallway.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, because it's like they're way oversized. I don't think a 5-year-old building that set could comfortably hold that plane. However, this scale, they can zoom it all over their house as easy as they could swoosh a spaceship, because
Yeah.
the scale is so much better for a child's hand, in my opinion. You know how some people joke that their forehead is so big that you could land a plane on it?
Yeah.
Well, I could picture myself landing this plane on my forehead. I would never attempt to land the 2006 passenger plane on my forehead.
Yeah. So another thing I really miss about the airplanes is how they had that hinge plate on top, and you could open it up
Yeah.
and see everything inside.
Yeah, because that's what this detail of the blending between the red and the white is.
Yep. Those
Above.
I really do like that plane. That may go on my buy list. The more I look at it, I like it. The 4 engines. I like the 4 wheels. I like a lot of that.
Yeah, because we don't get a lot of cargo planes, and this is probably my second favorite cargo plane ever after the Midnight Transport.
Oh, that Midnight Transport is nice. I like that one a lot. The
Yeah,
one that's got that black, red, and yellow color scheme, right?
Yeah, very much inspired by an A-Team type theme, and that was in and we're gonna cover that set in the Golden Age. But this is a classic. This is Breezeway Cafe. This had to be inspiration for the Paradisa theme set 6376.
I was getting ready to say this is Paradisa before Paradisa.
Yes, that is the definitive description of this set. Paradisa before Paradisa.
This is where Friends gets its start from.
Yes, because all of the things I like about the Friends buildings can be traced back to this set right here on your screen. And Johnny, are you out there? Because we just mentioned the Paradisa theme.
Paradisa, Paradisa.
Sun is shining on you. Yeah, so there's that, and this, and I go back and forth between this and the Flame Fighters from 1994. Which one I like better? I think I like the I think I like the usage of the garage bays in this set more, but the vehicles, kind of like the Trauma Team set,
Yeah, it's when they were really,
it's a little bit awkward.
they were putting a lot into that angled windshield piece that I guess they just come out with that, or they were really using it big time.
Yeah, because the helicopter's fine. The helicopter, I think they just changed some of the colors when they released the Flame Chaser set from 1991. The off-roader looks fine, but to me, this fire control center would fit good as an airport fire station.
Well, they
Because
say they actually have in Europe they have fire trucks that actually look more like that, right?
yeah, because the main fire engine to me looks like an airport fire engine,
Yeah.
which technically this would be the first airport fire engine they ever made, and they came out with a new 8-wide one this year in City. And international jetport was made to complement the airport shuttle set.
See, and then there's another one of those good planes, but unlike the other one, you see how it only has the 2 engines in the back instead of the 4 under the wings, and then it has 2 wheels on the rear on each side instead of 4 wheels on the rear on each side. I really like that other cargo plane better.
Yeah, because I think I prefer it when the planes have the engines underneath the wings.
Yeah, that almost looks more like a private jet.
Let's see what people are saying. If there's anything, Tron says always try to turn his old police motorcycle into the hover bike from Judge Dredd. Okay, well, when Odelay comes here, I'll say thank you. Yeah. Hopefully Odelay gets here soon. We'd like to see him up in here. And there's the granddaddy of them all. There's the airport shuttle.
That's the pinnacle of 1990 Lego. That's for sure. That's actually probably, I would say, the pinnacle of the monorail system. My personal opinion. I think I like that over the 2 space sets. You like the Unitron or the Futron one better?
Yeah, everyone knows I like the Unitron monorail the best because it has the two switch tracks in it.
So, but what if you had this with the switch tracks?
If this had switch tracks in it, this would be my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So you like the track over the car? Because I like the car.
Well, see, the thing is, I like the design of this set way more, but the switch track is such a draw card. I really like the inclusion of the switch tracks in the Unitron monorail because it's kind of like in the train theme when you have just a basic oval compared to a basic oval with a siding or a passing loop. There's so much more playability you can have when there's switch tracks in it. And I think this looks way better than the Unitron monorail, but the Unitron monorail has more play features than this set.
Yeah. So the reason I like this so much is because I'm a city person, like a city builder over space. But I will tell you that track is cool. It's almost like an on and off ramp. So that way the train can get on and off of the monorail system itself. But Yeah, no, me personally, I would say that this is it for me. But I will say it also has a higher price than the other two as well. So I don't know if that's just because it's not as common as the other two or what.
I think this sells for more because it's a more desirable set because it's more realistic.
Yeah, you can put it in like an actual city.
Yeah, and more people have a transport system in their city layout than what space builders have in their on their planet and moons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
So
yeah. So I will have that debate with everyone until the cows come home, until the end of time. Let's scroll down.
I've got that.
I was always really confused with these planes that don't have a cockpit canopy at the front. It looks so bad, in my opinion.
So an ultralight's kind of like that. It's like a glider, and that's like an
Yeah,
early one.
yeah, that's just me. I can't stand aircraft that doesn't have a windscreen. That's just me.
Real quick, Billy had a couple questions. How many pieces was that airport shuttle? And then he said he saw somebody on Marketplace selling theirs for 1,100. That sounds about right.
Yeah, so that the airport shuttle has 767 pieces. The used value right now is over 1,500 Australian dollars. It's by far the most expensive. You can see that on eBay all day long for more than $1,000 all day long.
Odelay is in the chat, Mayo.
Hello, Odelay. Says oh yes, yeah. Some other people were saying that. Thank you very much. Sorry, I was a little bit drowsy in your stream. I think a lot of us are still having a semi hangover from the brick roll. Um,
And thanks, Odelay. Hope you're having a good New Year's. Also, he said Billy says 700 is a lot, or that's a not a lot of pieces for being that old. That's a lot of money for that. It is, but what you're some of the pieces you're paying for are those specific one-off pieces, like the cover for the motor, and
yeah,
then
let's
the
go back
battery
here.
box itself that says airport shuttle. So without those two pieces, you're not going to have it. You can always make your own for way cheaper. Hey, what's up, Mr. Blue?
Yeah, Mr. Blue's been here for a while. So I just want to go over some of those pieces because the red cover in the middle, the red cover for the battery box, the track itself, the base plates, um, as the of course, um, the stickers. Uh, I think those are the main things that make it expensive.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
and he
I
he said
mean
he
the base
understands why.
plate. I mean the base plates aren't rare, but they're base plates, so by default they're expensive.
Yeah, and then it's just they're really taxing on those few pieces that make this monorail what it is because you can get those windscreen and those red bricks and those windows and everything, but it's really that battery box and that motor cover, and then if you want the complete set with this elevated thing, it's got that yellow part with that little signage above it. That's got kind of I think that's set specific, but yeah,
Yeah,
they're taxing
yeah,
you on parts.
yeah, because it's kind of like how a lot of the Star Wars sets from 10 years ago are insane value news in box because of the one exclusive minifigure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and this is a set that I got on eBay a while ago, sports coupe. And again, what you were saying, the constant use uh, of that space cockpit canopy for these town sets.
Yeah, that sloped windscreen. Yeah,
Yeah, they
I mean,
they overuse that.
yeah, it works well for its purpose because then you can see inside the car, you can see the minifig, and then they fit inside there. So,
And they were
but
still making good houses at this time. This is kind of an A-frame cabin before the A-frame cabin.
yeah, you see, and this set would have been so cool because it would have only been like $5.
Yeah, and now it's Actually, probably would have been $10, given that it has a base plate and it's
Well,
a
oh
hundred
yeah,
and 11 pieces, which means that yeah, a used value of $53 yeah, it would have gone up a lot.
yeah.
Let's scroll through.
I like
Uh,
that vehicle, that safari vehicle.
yeah, because it has, I believe that door is printed
Yeah,
with
it is.
the zebra stripes.
And it came with those hinged axles with springs in them. That was one of the first
Yeah,
vehicles to start coming with those.
yeah, the spring. Sorry, the sprung axles.
Yeah, the suspension.
For the suspension, because you can see they depict that on the box art, and it's technically a pirate set as well, because there's Spinoza the monkey.
Yep. No, that's a cool set.
Yeah, and then I got this on eBay as well, the Solo Trainer. It's not the best. It's not the best plane, but hey, at least it has the engines / propellers under the wings instead of at the tail fin.
Well, for being a small little Cessna, I think it actually looks really good because that's what it's supposed to represent.
Yeah. What a Cessna plane is it?
Yeah, like a Cessna. Those are just small little private aircraft that usually hold like 4 people at most, and then so that's pretty much what that's supposed to represent.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and research some of those names later. And then with what I was talking about, this was the first year of Mtron. Well, now we're getting into the Mtron sets. I always like this name, Vector Detector Set 6877.
You see how cool they were with that translucent green pieces that glue or that were glowing.
Exactly. And I'm also gravitate to the aircraft, like the particle ionizer.
Yeah, and you
And
see, I like
my
how they use the antennas as a propeller, like almost like on a or a rotor as a helicopter.
Yeah, and they really emphasize the neon in those pieces on the
Yeah,
box. Yeah, and now almost everyone's favorite Mtron set is the Megacore magnetizer,
yeah,
but my favorite has always been the Stellar Recon Voyager. One, because it flies. Two, because it has a better crane system than back here. Three, the cockpit canopy actually protects the driver and doesn't have gaps underneath, because there's gaps in between the wheels, and the vacuum of space could easily get under there if you hyperfixate and want to nitpick about this set, which I will.
saying the physics don't add up.
Yeah, yeah. Part of the physics is why I like the Stellar Recon Voyager more, and everyone can angrily type their comments right now telling me why I'm wrong, because I know there are people who will do that. And yeah, they were in the Technic theme. They were still making the control centers, still with the sets where you could use robot arms to draw on a piece of paper.
Yeah, I remember when all those were coming out. They had quite a few of them that would do all sorts of things, and you could motorize a lot of the cars as well.
Yeah, with the motor sets like this, with the
Yep.
9-volt system. And I'm not crazy about the Technic builds from this era. I'm just
Um,
not.
I've got some of them. I'll be honest with you, but only for the nostalgia reason. Because when I was a kid, I had them. So I've got some of them. I've got some that aren't even open. They're just still sealed in the box.
Yeah, and then we're getting into the gear, and then the Kicks magazine, and then I'm pretty sure that's the end of it. Yeah. Oh, I think this is the first keychain a man with cowboy hat. This might be the first keychain. I can't remember if we've covered any other keychains in this
I wonder
series.
why they wouldn't just call him a cowboy. Instead, they call him man with cowboy hat.
Probably because it uses pieces for a town minifigure. So Billy says the Cessna planes look cool like a 60s car. So it's a Cessna because I know that a 1993 set called Aerial Acrobats had planes that looked like a yak and a Sukhoi.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Those are where they have the radial piston motors on the front, so that way it's got like it's got a big round front end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are people saying? Uh, well, Hoarder, that's why I don't rely on notifications. I rely on muscle memory of when people go live. So Sean recently got yellow sloped wheel arch brick for that yellow car. Nice. So Billy puts that safari car in his top 5 for this year.
Nice.
Also, hey, hey to 4. Good to see people here. And if you want to see some of them, and if you want to see all of the sets that we've covered from the year 1990, you can watch this stream on the replay to see all of the other sets.
Yeah.
Is anyone else saying anything? Okay, yeah. So that was all of the sets. So I'll ask you, what was your favorite set of 1990? Scroll back to the top.
Well, it's honestly top set's going to be the monorail, but
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. I will say sets that I don't have from this year that seem pretty cool, or like I said, that safari one that Billy said he liked as well, and then that cargo plane that we were talking about.
The Transair Cargo.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah. Now I know a lot of people really like the Forestman Crossing, but for whatever reason, I don't. Which is why, since it's obvious that this is the actual best set from 1990, and what were your runner up picks? The Transair Cargo and something else.
Oh yeah, and then another one that I have is that space shuttle launch pad.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So
that's why I got it. And that one, yeah. The more I see of that one, I actually want that one.
Yeah. So the Transair Cargo and the where's the space shuttle launch? Let's go back. It's weird that some of these sets have set names starting with 1, not 6. Yeah, and then you really like this. Well, this is because you live in the
USA.
No, it's because you live in one of the 2 astronomical states.
Oh yes, Florida. Exactly, yeah. Florida and Texas. Well, California does a lot of launches also.
Yeah. So how far away are you from Cape Canaveral?
An hour at most.
Okay, because isn't that somewhere in between Orlando and Palm Beach?
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of places. So like you go out to Melbourne, Titusville, all that stuff. You're getting Cocoa Beach. You're starting to get really close. All that's right there next to Cape Canaveral. So anywhere you go over there, like you get depending on what time you go, you can always go see a launch. And if you ever go to Cocoa or Cape Canaveral, they're right there. You can go to the beach and you can watch that thing. You can be at the beach and watch them launch those rockets. And Elon's launching rockets almost every day of the week. And then so you can go see rockets all the time. But then space shuttles, they always tell everybody when they're going to do a shuttle launch. And you can go down there and you can see that too. It's pretty cool. I can see it on my driveway when they launch them.
Really?
Yeah, like I can go outside and I can watch it. I can see it off in the distance. I can watch them from my driveway. I can see it going up.
Wow, that'd be
yeah, it's insanely bright.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And I think my second favorite set of 1990 has to be the Stellar Recon Voyager.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That's the one you were bragging about earlier.
Yeah, even more so than the Town. They didn't. It seems like they didn't make any new pirate sets. They just kept selling. They just kept selling the 1989, and they would have let them end their run in their 3-year run until the end of 1991, and then replace the Imperial soldiers with the Imperial Guards in 1992. Yeah, so there wasn't any pirates, but I think now I still don't own any of the M-Tron sets, but I like the look of them. I like them as an adversary to the Blacktron. I like the M-Tron as an adversary to Blacktron 2 way more than I like the Futuron as an adversary to the Blacktron 1, because in my opinion the Futuron was just upgraded versions of the classic space sets, so they didn't bring anything new to the table in my opinion. However, the M-Tron brought something new to the table in the way that Space Police brought something new to the table.
Fair enough. I was going to say in this set right here, this set in particular, I just noticed they actually printed on a like a helicopter windscreen to make that bigger magnet box on the bottom. That's pretty cool print.
Yeah, because it's an opaque version of that, and they in gray, and they printed on that to get some of the buttons that go beep 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 beep.
Yeah.
And that was part of the container system they used within the M-Tron sets.
This Hoarders said Space Police brought space pimps to the table.
Well, that was in Space Police 3 with the Brick Daddy minifigure in the Space Limousine set.
So
Area 51.
So was M-Tron the first one to use magnets in a set?
No, Trains back in '66 were the first to use magnets.
Got you. But I mean, as far as like a theme went.
Yes, Trains used to be a theme.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, because outside of the Trains, I can't remember any of the Town sets using magnets before M-Tron did, and a lot of people theorize that the M in M-Tron is for magnets.
Yeah.
So the magnets were an integral play feature to the M-Tron theme.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw at that convention I went to, somebody made a massive mock set of that crawler right there that you just passed up.
Yeah. Anyway, that was all of them that we want to cover, but very quickly to end off to end off this stream before we go raid to the Brick Adjuster. Let's just get a quick 3-minute pan over of the city behind you for those who haven't seen your city before. You should go subscribe to From Blocks to Mocs on YouTube. The links are in the description below.
All right, so I'm gonna take this camera down right quick because I can actually move this one around. Let's see what we get here. All right, I'll show you guys some of those sets that we were talking about. There's
the airport shuttle
right there, and then it goes in a loop. It doesn't really have a destination on the other side. I know that's Mayo says that's one of his pet peeves, but it was hard to incorporate another station over there. But let's see, we'll go around here. I don't know if it pulls too much. Let me see. All right, there you go. And then you can see there's the shuttle launch pad. I have all sorts of stuff going on over here, but this is that same set. I built my own command like launch center, but it uses that cart that comes with the set.
Yeah, and that's all. And that's all proof. And that's all proof that you actually own those sets.
Yep. And then in the castle section over here, I have a couple of those other sets we were talking about. Let's see if you can see in there. You can see that there's that boat, that medieval boat down there with the dragon head. I've got a couple other ones that are all mixed in here. And so, but yeah, if you guys want to see more of it, you can always go check out the channel. I just posted a video of one of the buildings that I did recently. So, but that is how I have the shuttle built in. I'll turn it on right fast.
Yeah, for 60 seconds or so. Let's wait until it comes around again. Yeah, it is super chaotic, which is why if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe to From Blocks to Mocs. He just passed 200 subscribers.
And then that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's an awesome city that I've seen a dozen times, but we always got to share for those who haven't.
Yep, and then I pretty much just have that switch over there. That's how you do it. You just it's this right here, the red and white, and then you turn that one way, it'll let it pass through. You can either go forward or backwards, and then if you put it in the middle, it'll just stop it. So it hits it pretty much. These little things are like derailleurs that hits the switch in the middle on the motor.
Yep, you can never go wrong with the monorail. Anyway, that was the year 1990. Hope everyone got a little bit of a nostalgia hit. And before I is it broken? Well, I'll have to fix it afterwards then.
What's that?
Apparently the link's broken.
Oh,
okay. I'll have to fix that later. But what I'll do is I will go very quickly get the link, because I want people to subscribe. So let me get the link. Subscribe. So I subscribe.
Thanks, Brett and Bricks. I appreciate it. You too, Billy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll have to fix it in the description later. So thank you for watching this stream. It is appreciated. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Next weekend, we will be doing the 24-hour live stream. So, RC, you said that you've got some sets that you'll want to build with me. There are other people who told me that they want to build sets with me. So, if you want to build sets with me on my 24-hour live stream, please DM me as soon as possible so we can have fun together. I will be doing plenty of live streams over the next week. So we will be starting at either 6 no, sorry, at either 7 or 8 a.m. Eastern on the morning of Saturday the 10th of on Saturday the 10th of January, so you can all get hyped for that 24-hour stream.
Hey,
And
Macro. Sorry. Thank you,
yeah,
buddy. I appreciate you, Macro.
we're literally just ending right now. So yeah, we'll see you on the next episode of the Golden Age in 2 weeks' time. So we'll see you I'll see you on my next live stream tomorrow, and I'll see you in the next video. Please go raid on over to the Brick Adjuster with the message at the top of the chat right now. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.